Moving into the old house felt like the reward for years of waiting. It stood just outside of town, far enough away that the nights were quiet and the air felt cleaner. The paint was chipped, the roof sagged slightly on one side, and the windows rattled when the wind picked up. But it was ours, big enough for a family, full of potential. A dream my wife and I had carried for years. There was a lot to fix, but it was doable. The kind of work you tackle together, laughing when things go wrong, imagining what it would look like when it was finished. The living room was the best part, wide and open, perfect for movie nights, board games spread across the floor, kids arguing over the rules, laughter bouncing off the walls. For a while, it really was everything we hoped for. The first strange thing happened a month in. I woke up in the middle of the night to the sound of footsteps above us. Slow, deliberate steps, pacing back and forth in the attic. Not scratching, not scurrying, walking. I lay there listening, my heart racing. I woke my wife, and together we checked the house. The attic door was locked. No signs of anyone up there. And then we checked on the kids. All asleep. The house settled back into silence. The second incident came a few nights later. I woke up to light spilling into our bedroom from the hallway. I was sure we'd turned it off. As I sat up, I saw movement, a small figure running down the hallway toward the kids' room, fast, low to the ground. I was out of bed instantly. I opened the door. Nothing. The hallway was empty. The light buzzed softly overhead. The kids were still asleep, breathing slow and steady. I stood there longer than necessary, listening, waiting for something, anything to confirm what I'd seen. Nothing happened. Weeks passed without incident. We relaxed again, blamed stress, old house noises, our own expectations. Life went back to normal. That's when our youngest started talking about the little boy. At first it sounded harmless, imaginary friend stuff. She said he played games with her at night, said he liked hiding, said he knew the house better than we did. When we asked where he lived, she pointed upward. "The attic," she said cheerfully. One afternoon, she laughed suddenly while sitting at the table. I asked her what was funny. "Mom and Dad aren't good," she said. The words felt wrong coming from her mouth. "Why would you say that?" I asked. She shrugged. "That's what he says." She laughed again, light, careless, but something in her eyes felt distant, like she was repeating something she didn't fully understand. That night, I woke up to knocking. 3 slow taps. On our bedroom door. Before I could speak, a voice answered for me. "Why are you here?" It wasn't loud, it wasn't angry, it sounded curious. I woke my wife and we ran down the hallway, hearts pounding. The kids' door was open, their room was empty, beds neatly made, toys exactly where they should be, no sign of panic, no broken windows, no open doors, just space where they should have been. We called the police. They searched the house, the yard, the attic, the surrounding woods. Their questions shifted slowly, from urgent to careful, from concerned to confused. Finally, one officer asked us something I still hear in my sleep. "Are you sure you have children?" My wife laughed. Then she stopped. They showed us records, property files, medical histories, school databases, nothing, no children tied to us, no proof they had ever existed. I ran through the house in a panic, grabbing photo albums, phones, old backups. Every picture showed only me and my wife. Empty rooms, empty holidays, 2 smiling adults, no kids, not even shadows. The police left quietly. That night, the house felt different, bigger, emptier. The attic creaked softly above us. The story started at school. It always did. Someone heard it from an older sibling. Someone else claimed their parents had warned them never to go near the old house just outside of town. A house where a family's children disappeared. Or maybe the house had erased them completely. No one could ever agree on which version was true. Some said the parents went crazy. Some said there were never any kids at all. That was the part that made it stick. By Friday, everyone knew the story. By Saturday, a group of them decided to see it for themselves. They walked there just before sunset, laughing too loudly, daring each other to be brave. The house stood exactly where the rumors said it would. Silent, sagging, surrounded by trees that pressed in close, like they were trying to hide it. The front door hung crooked on its hinges. Inside, the air smelled damp and old, like the house had been holding its breath for years. The walls were covered in writing, scratched deep into the paint, overlapping, frantic. Doors were broken. Windows were shattered and boarded from the inside. Furniture was overturned, splintered, dragged into useless barricades that clearly hadn't helped. Then they saw it, the attic door, perfectly intact, clean, unmarked, untouched. It stood out more than anything else in the house. No one said it out loud, but all of them were thinking the same thing. That's where it started. No one wanted to be the first to admit they were scared. Silence stretched until it became uncomfortable. Then someone laughed nervously. "Let's sleep in the attic," one of them said. "If anything happens, we'll know the story's real." No one argued. They climbed up together, flashlights shaking, hearts racing. The attic was empty except for dust and shadows. No furniture, no footprints. Just the low ceiling and the feeling that the darkness was closer than it should be. They laid out sleeping bags. Tried to joke. Sleep came slowly. Then someone screamed. A sharp, panicked sound that ripped everyone awake at once. In the corner of the attic stood a boy. He was pale, too pale. His smile stretched too wide across his face, teeth bared in a way that wasn't happy at all. His eyes were locked onto them, bright and eager. He didn't move. One of the girls was closest to the attic door. She ran, she burst down the ladder, hit the floor hard, and sprinted toward the front door. Adrenaline drowned out everything else. She didn't stop until she reached the entrance and froze. The door was gone, not locked, not broken. Gone, like it had never existed. The walls were smooth where it should have been. She turned around. The boy stood behind her, still smiling. His hands were bigger than they should have been. Cold when they grabbed her face, fingers digging into her cheeks, forcing her to look at him. Then everything went dark, cold, silent. The next morning, the house stood quiet again. By afternoon, the entire town was searching. Police, parents, volunteers, dogs. They found backpacks near the property, shoes, flashlights, no bodies, no signs of struggle, no attic footprints, no evidence anyone had ever slept there. The house stayed empty. The attic door stayed perfect.